Oh, we head to Central Africa, where local sources on Tuesday say a notorious rebel group killed 29 people in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo at the weekend. The Allied Democratic Forces have also been accused of killing thousands of civilians. Army spokesman Captain Anthony Walushai says that fighters believed to be part of the ADF staged the attack on Sunday night in Masambo, about 50 kilometers away from the city of Beni. The attack comes a few days after the start of the trials of about a dozen rebels who were captured in combat by Congo's army. Joining me from Accra, Ghana, to discuss this latest development is Kambale Musavuli. He's a policy analyst with the Center for Research on the Congo-Kinshasa. Hello, and good to see you, Kambale. Quickly, the Allied Democratic Forces, that's the ADF, have been blamed for dozens of attacks in two eastern provinces of North Kivu and Ituri. Now, as a result, a large population became direct victims of their reign of terror. Tell us, if you will, what the humanitarian situation in eastern Congo is at the moment.
Well, for the past decade, at least, the ADF has been quite active in the North Kivu province, committing mass atrocities. Every other week, we hear a couple of dozens of people massacred. And this is happening in and around the town of Beni, which is a town that's very close to Lake Albert, where since the mid-2000s, there was a discovery of 2.5 billion barrels of oil. So we do know that the exacerbation of the killing is causing displacement of the population. But we also have to put the context. People are being killed right in front of UN forces. You have the largest peacekeeping mission in the world by the UN, 22,000 strong peacekeepers in the DRC. It's happening in the front of the Ugandan forces. As of last year, the UPDF, Ugandan People's Defense Force, they have crossed the border and they've actually built a temporary military base in Beni where this killing has taken place. And last, it's also happening in front of the Congolese army, which is not providing safety to the population. So the people are finding themselves in a situation where they have to take the matters into their own hands, as the state and other foreign forces in the area are not providing them with safety. And there is a whole historical context of why the ADF is there. And I've often said that the ADF is the weapon of mass destruction narrative for the DRC, just as the US went to Iraq to find the weapon of mass destruction that was never found. The ADF has the same narrative that we still do not have a clear understanding of why they massacre civilians in the DRC when they are Ugandan rebels, and why they are never able to be stopped, no matter how many military operations have been undertaken in that region.
So, Kambale, give us an assessment, of the Joint Operations Center set up for intelligence exchange between the Ugandan and the Congolese force against the ADF armed group since it was launched late last year.
There is a state of siege, form of martial law in the DRC since last year. This state of siege was started by the president of the DRC, and it was supposed to last 45 days. Beyond 45 days, the military operation has not stopped the killing of the civilians. But to really comprehend why there is this senseless killing taking place in the Congo, we have to look at the historical narrative of why we have a conflict in the Congo. In 1996, two of Congo's neighbors, Rwanda and Uganda, invaded the Congo. They actually occupied part of the territory and committed atrocious crimes in DRC. They officially left the DRC in 2002 and continue up until today to support proxy rebel militias. So if we are only talking about the ADF, when we have hundreds of rebel groups, and we're not understanding the logical reason of why they are there, they are located in areas rich of minerals that are illegally exploited, causing a sense of destabilization, allows for the pilfering of the resources. And particularly in this area of Beni, many analysts, especially human rights activists in the area, are very clear that the killings are taking place to displace the population of Beni. Why Beni? Because there is oil that's been discovered, and we have a conglomerate of foreign military forces are still in the area. Now, speaking specifically about the ADF, the Allied Democratic Forces, there have been ties, sometimes it's spoken that they are Islamist group tied to ISIS, and information that's been already disqualified by the United Nations, particularly the UN group of experts, saying clearly that there is no tie between the ADF and ISIS. But this is the narrative that's pushed in the media, and that has a concrete effect in the DRC.
Kambale, let me jump in here before I let you go quickly here. Let's look at some rights groups like yours. Let us in on what they're doing to help Congolese citizens who've been affected by these attacks.
The number one thing is we share the information. Everything that I've shared with you is through conversation I've had with human rights activists on the ground, especially when the killing happened on Sunday. The number one cry for the civilians on the ground is justice. Many killings are taking place, and there is no justice for the killing that's taking place. They are calling for a tribunal to be implemented so that those who are committing the crimes are held accountable. Can the Congolese institutions do so? It has the potential if there is a pressure for political will. So the International Tribunal for Congo is what the civil society in the DRC is calling for. They believe that it will stop the recidivism of the senseless killings in the DRC and will create a new environment where Congolese people can live in peace and stability in their country.
Kambale Musavuli, many thanks for speaking with us.